Welcome back to Julie's Wreath Boutique. It is Labor Day 2024, and you know what? This means fall has officially arrived. Yes, I know that we're technically still in summer, but this wreath right here is the perfect fall flower wreath. We're going to do a fuse method, and I'm going to show you how to put this together. And this is a twist on what I've done in years past, but you guys seem to love it so much that it was time for an update. So let's make this beautiful wreath, and guess what? There's a kit that you can buy from the Wreath Shop. So to get started tonight, I want to show you what I will be using to kind of keep all my mesh on top of each other, and it makes the fuse method so easy. This is the ultimate collapsible mesh holder, and it is phenomenal, and I will leave the link down below where you can purchase this and support a small business. It is amazing, and it's a patented product, so it's a great thing. So we've got a glass cutting board here and my wood burning tool. I have my deco mesh overlapping the poly burlap. As you can see here, the deco is a little bit wider. This sometimes happens, but that's okay. We're going to work with it, all right? We're going to cut these at 10 inches wide each. Now what we're doing by stacking both of these pieces of mesh, we are fusing them together. This is a method I came up with a few years back, and I wanted to kind of show you again. It really does make like layering pieces of mesh a lot easier, and I really like having my ultimate collapsible mesh holder to do it with. It makes it a lot easier. So anyways, my wood burner, you're gonna have to go a little slow. Mine needs to be clean, a little tip of it, but again, that's how you fuse your mesh. Then we're going to take the orange poly burlap and the same color of this kind of burgundy gold deco mesh. Again, the Wreath Shop has a kit for you guys, so that's what's exciting about this week's wreath. If you are watching this and you want to just buy a wreath kit, make sure to check out my link for them down below. So I don't know if you can see it, but we do have the deco mesh over top of the orange poly. Now here's the very important key. Whether you're making this for fall or anytime, you always want the poly burlap underneath the deco mesh. Then we're going to do that with this green mesh I had. We're going to cut 5 of those. But we're not going to have that in the kit. We're going to talk about that in a moment here, but hold on. First thing, I'm going to cut a round piece of felt, and I'm going to use this little rotary cutter that is probably 5 years old, and as you can see here, I need a new one. It has a little scalloped edge, and honestly, I can't even remember where I bought it, but I like it and I think it looks cute. So hold this piece of felt for later. The next step is we are going to put some of that plastic canvas mesh, and again, this will be in your kit if you get it from the Wreath Shop, and you'll have enough probably to do some other ones as well. But we're going to take a 10-inch wreath form. Can you make a bigger wreath? Absolutely. Feel free to do so, but just know you're going to need more mesh. Then we're going to take a little zip ties and we are going to connect it inside our wreath frame. Simple, easy peasy. It doesn't get much easier than this, guys. It really is super simple. Once you have enough zip ties that you feel comfortable with moving on, you're going to clip all of those off. I put about 5 or 6 on my frame, and then we're ready to get started on this wreath. It's so easy. Now, if you're looking for any of the tools or supplies, make sure to check out my Amazon shop below. I will have that listed in the description box. Now, one of the little tricks I want to show you is we're going to make these little 8-inch zip ties, and we're going to put it in between row 1 and 2 and the bracket. So we're going to focus on the bracket portion of this wreath. And we aren't going to secure the zip ties all the way. We're just going to make it a little circle so that it just stays put. You're going to take your mesh and you're going to make it into a square, fold it into the center, gather it, and bring the left petal over the right. Let's do that again. Bring it to the middle, gather, bring the left petal over the right. Pretty simple. This is the same technique we're using for this whole wreath. So the same technique even for the leaves. Make sure that you gather it, and the top and the bottom is the finished edges. I always kind of pick at the little strings that might be still there, and then I'm just going to simply slide it into that little loop that we created. So that's a nice easy little trick, and it makes your work time cut in half just a little bit. So again, the same method. This is my single petal fold. I've been doing this for years, and this wreath is going to be so beautiful when it's done. Right, so let's use our little zip ties and make loops on wire 2. So I always start out from the outside in, wire 1, wire 2, and that's where we're going to put our petal. And we're going to put 2 of these same single folded petals within each section here, okay? So that's what this 10-inch wreath form, you're going to bring it in together at the middle, gather it, and the left petal over the right. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And then let me show you the beauty of editing. I probably should have stated that the first round to go around this frame was the burgundy and the gold and burgundy mesh. Now we're going to work with the orange poly burlap and gold and burgundy mesh, okay? And we are going to put this slightly inside of the frame itself. We're going to put it on the canvas part and on the very most inner part of our wreath frame, okay? You can make the little loop like we did before. Again, make your petal. It's pretty simple. And I have a petal making video if you want to explore different petals. We did this about 3 years ago, and it's a big kind of like gives you the in and outs of all the different petals that I've used in the past. So you're just going to keep going around the wreath frame on this one. I'm going to give you a count here in a moment of how many petals we use for the orange layer, the second layer. This is where all the orange petals are going. Now, if you like orange more than you like the burgundy, then do the outside with the orange poly burlap, the inside with the burgundy, and then the center with the orange poly. Really up to you. You can do it with the wreath kit because you'll have extra of the orange or burgundy, whichever way you decide to go with. Okay, so now we're in the center, and do you see that recenter? I didn't use that recenter, so don't, I mean, you could use the smaller recenter, but the one that I ended up using was a bigger one. But here is where I'm going to show you a mistake I made here soon and show you what I did, because you know what? I make mistakes too when I craft, and I want to make sure that you understand that we can fix these mistakes. So we're going to focus on this very center of our canvas. So this is going to be a little tight. Now you could do this on a 12-inch wreath frame and just know that you'll have a bigger center as well. But know that you can just add fewer or more petals depending on the size of the wreath frame. Nothing really changes. But here's where I make a mistake. I'm going to be adding some petals for the center of this, and then you're gonna see that I put it a little too short. Now, if you look down there, you're gonna see a part where I don't have enough of it connected to the frame. So the very end, the little portion that we like fold over, I didn't have enough of that secured. And I don't know, can you guys hear my dog barking? Let me know in the comments. Oops, there's the mistake. And I'm going to fix it. So what we're going to do is we are going to only use 2 petals at the end. And this way I thought I was going to get 3 in there, like stuff them in there like sardines, but that didn't work. It didn't work at all. That just simply said, Julie, take your time and be a little bit more patient and put it in the right way. So I want to make sure that you understand, you need to make sure that you secure enough of the end underneath of that zip tie, and then it'll be beautiful and you won't have to worry about your petals falling out like I almost worried about it. So anyways, in the middle of this one we use 7 petals. I'll put that on the screen here. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the green leaves. Now in the kit you're not going to get the same color green that I have. You want to know why? Because I didn't have the right green, all right? So I put a loop of a zip tie on the second rim here, the wreath frame, and I'm going to go underneath the first wire, and then we're going to connect it that way. But let me tell you what I didn't have. I didn't have olive green poly burlap, but you will get 1 roll of olive green poly burlap. You will not need to fuse it unless you have some extra green that you want to fuse it with, but I don't really feel like it really changed the whole look of this wreath. And to be honest, it was very difficult. You can see how I'm doing that to get those leaves through here with the double pieces of mesh. So In the kit, it's just going to be olive green, and then you're going to add your green leaves 5 times equally over your wreath. So here I am just kind of like separating my petals and make sure that it all looks beautiful. This is just a good way to kind of fluff them. Then you're going to take your wire and you're going to take some floral pens and a hot glue gun and a little thing of felt. Now the wire and the garden or the floral pens and stuff, that's not going to come in your kit. But these are things that you should probably have on hand anyway. And then I'm going to add a few pens over top of the felt, and then we're going to put our wreath together. We're going to put our center here. And if my hands look like they're slow, yeah, they are slow because my phone decided not to record properly. And for some reason, we've got slow-mo going on. So let me just cut this and make this go a little bit faster. Hold on. Okay, I think I fixed that. Once you get your center in, again, you can use a smaller center if you want, but the kit will have this size center. It just really makes everything pop. I just kind of went through and kind of was adjusting my petals before I flipped it over and I secured it to the back. So you're going to twist this several times. Again, I've not twisted this before, and I didn't twist it enough and it came out. So I'm just saying, you're going to want to twist and then twist some more. And then I cut off the ends and I poke the wires back through that canvas mesh so we don't hurt our door. Then you're going to take that piece of felt, remember the one that I cut with a really ancient rotary cutter? Yes, you're going to put this on the back of your wreath, and I just take a little zip ties, I poke holes in it. You can hang your wreath at any part of this wreath, right on the wire frame. So if you love this video, would you do me a favor? Would you leave me either your favorite fall flower, your favorite fall activity, whatever it is that you love about fall, let me know down in the comments. This was so fun to make. I'm sending this to a special lady that's like a mama to me, and even helped plan my wedding. So this is just a beautiful flower, and it'll make a beautiful statement on your front door. Hope you liked tonight's video. I loved making this wreath and making it for someone special in my life, but I love the vibrancy of all the colors and the mixtures of all the textures of mesh that we use. So make sure that you leave in the comments, what is your favorite fall flower? Is it a mum, a sunflower, chrysanthemum? I guess that is a mum. But anyways, we'll be back next Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you then.